Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now this is a general reading for the sign of Aries for basically the solstice year ahead. I didn't want to do readings for the Jupiter Saturn Conjunction because that's the beginning of a 20-year cycle, and reading for a 20-year period, yeah, anything could be turning up in that time with everything else that goes on in the sky. So I thought I'd do just like a simple 9-card spread. Well, simple-ish, I've clarified everything. For the year ahead, which obviously commences with that Saturn-Jupiter conjunction. So that will be defining aspects of our lives for quite a few years to come. As a general reading rules apply as ever. You know, if someone else appears in the reading, I can get the roles mixed up. The people mixed up, sorry, because I see the actions and the energies. Timing's far from absolute, but hey, this is covering a year. Timing is not going to be that specific within it anyway. Now, there are links in the description down below for the readings for your solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, the recent galactic download, as in Sun conjunct galactic center, all of which were leading up to this great conjunction. I'm filming this particular video the day before the great conjunction, so we'll have to see how the energies change once Monday arrives. That's a song, isn't it, When Monday Comes? But anyway, also down in the description down below is the link to the Facebook page for this channel. There I post all of these videos. I post the astrology, weather forecast type videos that I'm watching, so you can keep up to date with all of that. I try to make it a bit of a one-stop shop, but importantly, it has an inbox. So if you want to contact me for a personal reading, that's a good way to do it. I think that's all my housekeeping. So I've been trying to cut it down and make it short and get rid of the waffle. This isn't necessarily a reading where you can ask a question beforehand. It's not designed that way. However, if you want to, now's your time. Pause the video, think of the questions. You've heard me say this before. Focus on one of them, but be aware of all of them, because cards will answer what they want. Okay, assuming that you've paused and restarted and done that, let's bring up the cards. So, it rather looks like, there's... let's see if I can get the camera working again. There we go. It's I'm having a few technical issues today, to be honest. So I think Aries may well be the only one that happens. And let's just see. I give up. Okay, that's that little technical hitch hopefully sorted. So let me return back to the big cards and let's see what we can find for you. Now, the one thing that draws my attention here is that the entire reading ends twice with the Six of Swords. This year is a journey to a better place for you. The reading starts off, unsurprisingly for you Aries, with work. We start with the Eight of Coins with the Six of Coins. I'm seeing a focus onto the work that produces value, and not just that produces value, that you are feeling has value for it. This, to a certain extent, is quite isolating for you, but even as it's isolating, it's creating some enormous growth and awareness. We have the Four of Swords here, clarified by the Seven of Coins. So a well-tended harvest produces good results. And with this Eight of Coins and the Six of Coins, it's almost, I feel like you may be starting the year with a lot of work, lots of different tasks, lots of different plans, lots of a wide spread, and narrowing your focus as the year goes along, which creates a transformation for you, a personal transformation. There's a lot about combating fear here as well, but that seems to be on a slightly different level. I'm not sure whether the fear aspect is, how can I put it, it's work related. Let's see if I can zoom in on those a little bit. And the fear comes here from Typhoeus. I was asking which god is paying you particular attention. So, there's the good thing with Typhoeus is he gets beaten. The king of the gods, Jupiter. Oh, and it's going again. There we go. The king of the gods, Jupiter, does actually finally conquer Typhon in the battle against the giants, and imprisons him into Tartarus, or slays him. I think he imprisons him. But this is the whole point of what we've got in the middle here. So we've got the King of Swords, clarified by the Three of Swords, looking as if you are wanting to cut something out because of pain that it has caused. And there's the decision of, ooh, should I cut it out or not? The King of Swords is someone who is weighing up both probabilities of a do I, don't I situation. Now, I would avoid being too hasty on cutting anything or anyone out initially, because right in the centre of the reading we have Six of Cups, the wonderful nostalgia card, and here it does, in this Tarot of the Healing Light, it does feel like, sometimes I can feel the Six of Cups being the nostalgia card, it's looking backwards, or it's trying to trick you, or it's just not showing any form of forward progress. But here, it's almost like there is a memory that is given to you that is a gift. And it's clarified by the Ace of Swords. So something from the past is coming clear. Something from the past is suddenly... It could be that you find out extra information and then all of a sudden it's, oh, well, that makes sense of that whole thing. Oh, well, that's okay then. Because it looks like there may have been some event on the past where you've carried the pain forward, and then all of a sudden you find out this one fact, and like a row of dominoes tumbling, it's like, oh, but if that was going on, then that means that, that means that, that means that, that means that. You know, that wasn't so bad. After all, it's understandable. Because I have on the bottom here, Two of Swords, Three of Cups. Now, this Three of Cups I find particularly illuminating. I don't always find it so much as a friendship card in this deck, as I find it a creative card, a moving forward with dreams. And this Two of Swords always reminds me of not the act of being blind, but the act of reducing the input from one sense to be aware of all of your other senses, like walking around your house blindfold so that you know where everything is when you yeah, it's going to be one of those days. You know where everything is through touch. You can hear things, you can smell things, because the distraction of sight is removed. And it's almost like a distraction is removed with this Two of Swords that makes you go, ah, okay, this is making more sense. And both are combined with the work journey and the transformation that the work journey undergoes. This is leading you to a better place. So the final column, we have the Ace of Wands clarified by the Eight of Swords. Now, this particular Eight of Swords is... I like the Ace of Swords, Eight of Swords normally. This one, not so much. It's almost like you risk getting tangled up in, if you surge ahead too fast, rather than concentrating on what your initial plan was. Right, yeah, I get it. So, if you surge ahead too fast, especially with cutting something or someone out, mainly because of some past hurt, you can risk getting caught up in all sorts of weird politics, getting caught up in all sorts of weird interpersonal plots, plans, agendas that you don't really need to, because you have to be choosy about what ideas you are going to accept into your world. Again, bringing us to this King of Swords of the do I, don't I, and where it leaves you. Now, I really like this Five of Coins, even though it is a pretty miserable one. It really does imply the poverty of the Five of Pentacles, but it also shows the guiding light. And that 5... okay, so maybe certainly for the first half of the year, you don't want to be looking for external wealth. It's more all internal stuff. We've got 5 here, 2 plus 3, and we've got this 5 here, showing that there is, with this Seven of Swords, I'm seeing a progression of work on the internal stuff, work on what you've got to give out rather than to what is coming into you, because what is coming into you is yeah, it's really not. Ooh, come on, that's better. Right, this may be the only one of these videos that I do today, as you can tell, with these technical issues, but I really want to do this reading because of this double Six of Swords. You are heading to a better place. Even if you get caught up in the politics of other people, you are still heading to a better place. But you're better concentrating quite personally, certainly I feel for the first half of the year, and more of a getting on with your own thing and sitting back and studying. We have Manakel, who astrologically reveals the knowledge of good and evil. So that's a really interesting play on what this King of Swords is doing. So I almost feel like it's not that you're reinterpreting what good and evil are. They're pretty standard, pretty obvious. But you are reinterpreting what actions in the past fall under good and evil, because it seems like there was something that you felt was evil, but you find something out and you go, oh, actually they did that for the best of reasons. It's not such a whatever happened to me, I was what do you, so casualty of war, collateral damage is the point that I'm looking for there. And that understanding seems to open up a far greater personal happiness. As I say, ending with this Six of Swords. We've now got helicopters going over the building. This is not my day for recording. We have Nomo Revoltoso, basically the rebel gnome from the Angel Tarot. Now this can represent a Sagittarius. This can also represent, like it says, that act of rebellion. But it's that act of rebellion also regarding hobbies and interests. And now there's a parcel. Let me just pause for a moment. Okay, there's that over and done with. I am very sorry, Aries, that this seems to have been quite the disturbed video, which also implies to me that it's going to be an eventful year. But with this Four of Swords here, it's that ability to step back and just get on with your own thing. You know, with all this, yeah, there's emotional stuff that's going on. That's not new. That's been around for a while. There's other people having agendas that may well be in your way as you're trying to move forward. Yes, move forward, but try to move forward carefully. try to move forward in a way that is not taking on board too much of other people's agendas, and to a certain extent even too much of other people's wills. I'm really drawn to this star on this Seven of Swords, because I'm not even sure it's a star. It's almost like the moon reflecting off the sea, apart from the fact that it's so high up, or like a sunburst through the clouds. This is a year of tremendous growth. Now, this is backed up by the bottoms of the deck, which you can't actually see in the camera. We have the Hanged Man. Oh, look, the camera's offended. We have the Hanged Man and the Star. So there is wisdom coming in this year. But with the Hanged Man first, it's almost like that wisdom is coming in dribs and drabs. So I think you can expect this to be an internally eventful year. But externally, as long as you're not getting caught up in other people's webs, other people's dramas, then there is a lot of progress, because Six of Swords. I was amazed when that out at the end, because this year is taking you to a better place. Whatever happens, you're headed for a better place here. But there is that hint of avoiding the traps. Finally, from the Sufi Wisdom Oracle, we have Union of Love. Embrace the beloved within your heart. So again, there's that sense of, I mean, there's that almost star imagery, or light at the end of the tunnel at least imagery with this card. And there's that sense of looking internally. Like everything is being funneled in to one point. Which is what we have the Hierophant here, which clarifies the Judgment card. The Hierophant is in this deck, which is the Legacy of the Divine Tarot. I'm really seeing information coming to you, and it's like, yes, to a point, spiritual information, but equally practical information, because it's with the Hierophant, you've got that sense of tradition, but you've also got that sense of spiritual attainment, of sticking to a very specific path, you know, sticking to your ideals, sticking to your own moral compass. But the four people on this card really make me feel like there is information that is being brought to you, that together it forms a complete picture, enabling you to gain an almost cosmic awareness, because this is what this Two of Swords always reminds me of, some form of cosmic awareness, especially when I'm drawn specifically to the dove and the moon in his forehead, which I am really, really liking. And these two cards together to form a five, indicating growth, really pleases me. You've got two ways of doing it. You get caught in other people's agendas, and then you've got to get rid of loads of stuff, and getting rid of all that stuff will cost you as well. Come on. No, right, yes. Is it doing it? Yeah. No. Looks like this will be the only video I'm doing today. We'll see what the rest is like after the conjunction, but I'm determined to have something to upload on the conjunction day. Thank you, camera. Thank you. Right, and that's totally thrown me off my track, so my apologies, but you're ending up in a better place anyway. There's with the 2 6 of Swords, it's that double whammy there. All right, nothing else to say really, and I'm going to give up before my computer blows up. All right, cheers.